Glass shattered against the marble wall as Dante Crosswell hurled his phone across the penthouse. "Get out," he snarled. The board members on the screen froze. Reed Mercer didn't. His beta stood firm near the doorway, arms crossed, watching the most powerful alpha in the city unravel. "You haven't slept in 72 hours, Reed said evenly. "You're shaking." "I am not shaking." Dante's hand trembled anyway. His shoulder burned like molten iron beneath his shirt, the old cursed tears screaming with every movement. Worse than the pain was the noise, the constant, suffocating roar of the pack link in his skull. Every subordinate thought, every territorial ripple, every restless wolf in the city pulsed through him. He pressed his palm to his temple. "Make it stop," he muttered. Reed stepped closer. "That's why I booked the appointment." Dante's head snapped up. "Cancel it." "No." The word hung there. "You don't get to command me when you're 2 steps from going feral," Reed added. "Her name is Dr. Elara Wynn. Holistic specialist. Last one willing to take your case." "Omega." Dante's lip curled. "Yes." Dante laughed once, harsh and humorless. "I don't need scented candles and soft hands. You need silence," Reed shot back. That word landed. Silence. Dante closed his eyes, and the pack link shrieked louder as if mocking him. 2 p.m., Reed said. "Stillwater restoration. If you don't go, I'm calling an emergency council vote." Dante's eyes flashed black. Reed didn't flinch. "Fine," Dante growled. "But if this is a waste of time, I'll shut her clinic down." Reed exhaled slowly. "Just try." 2 hours later, Dante stepped into a building that smelled like cedar and clean linen instead of steel and money. The clinic was small, quiet. No marble, no security gates, no dominance. A tiny fennec fox sat on the reception desk, blinking enormous ears at him. Dante stopped. The fox tilted its head. He stared back, unsure what he was supposed to do. From the hallway emerged a petite omega in charcoal scrubs, dark hair tied back, eyes sharp and assessing. "You're blocking the doorway," she said calmly. Dante's gaze dropped to her. She didn't look away. "I'm Dante Crosswell," he said. "I know." She gestured toward a clipboard. "Fill that out." He didn't move. Her eyebrow lifted. "You can either sit and complete the intake form or leave. I don't treat posturing." A growl vibrated low in his chest. The fox's ears flattened. She didn't. "You growl at my staff again," she said softly, "and I'll charge you double." For a long moment, they measured each other. Then, astonishingly, Dante took the clipboard. Her lips twitched, barely. He filled it out with rigid strokes, jaw tight. 3 years, she said as she skimmed his file. Cursed rotator cuff tear. Limited range. Chronic inflammation. Insomnia. "You missed the part where I'm fine." She met his gaze. "You're not fine." The words weren't mocking. They were factual. "Treatment room," she said, turning. He followed. The room was simple. Table. Instruments. No unnecessary clutter. Efficient. "Shirt off," she said. His eyes darkened. "Careful." She didn't blush. "You're here for your shoulder, Mr. Crosswell." He removed the jacket and shirt, muscles tight beneath scarred skin. Her fingers brushed the damaged area. He sucked in a breath. "Relax." "Don't tell me to relax." She pressed deeper. White-hot pain exploded. Dante's vision flashed. His wolf surged forward. "Shift, and you're out," she warned quietly. He froze. Her fingers moved with precise pressure, tracing the old scar tissue. "This isn't just muscle damage," she murmured. "The curse is embedded in the fascia. It never fully released." "Can you fix it?" "Yes." No hesitation. "How?" "You won't like it." He bared his teeth. "Try me." She picked up sterile needles. Dante stared. "You're joking." "No." The first needle slid in. He jerked. The second hit a knot of cursed energy. Agony detonated. He nearly roared. "Breathe," she instructed. His claws pricked at his fingertips. The pack link roared louder in response to his distress. "Stay with me," she said, voice steady. Another needle. More pain. And then, something shifted. The noise dulled. Just slightly. Dante's eyes widened. She felt it too. The tension in his body eased a fraction. "Again," he rasped. She continued. 40 relentless minutes later, sweat drenched his back. "Lift your arm," she said. He did. Higher. Higher. His shoulder didn't scream. The pack link softened. Not gone, but muted. He stared at her. What did you do? Disrupted the curse's hold, she replied. It'll take multiple sessions. He flexed slowly, stunned. How much? She named a reasonable rate. He let out a low laugh. I'll pay you 5 times that. Weekly retainer. I don't take bribes. It's not a bribe. It feels like one. He stepped closer. She held her ground. I don't need your money, she continued. I need compliance. You follow my treatment plan or we're done. No one spoke to him like that. Ever. And if I refuse, he asked quietly, then you walk out with your noise. That word again. Noise. He swallowed. When's my next session? Tomorrow. He nodded once and left. The next afternoon, he returned early. The fox perked up. Dante placed a small container of imported figs on the desk. For staff morale, he muttered. The fox leaped onto his shoulder before he could react. Dante stiffened. The tiny creature curled against his neck. Elara stepped out and stopped short. You brought a peace offering? It seemed strategic. She crossed her arms, studying the sight of the massive alpha frozen while a 6-pound animal made itself comfortable. You're allowed to breathe, she said. I am breathing. Barely. The corner of her mouth lifted. Something warm flickered in his chest. Treatment room, she said. He followed without argument. Halfway through the session, thunder cracked outside. Dante's muscles spasmed violently. The curse flared. Damn it, he hissed. Easy, she said, pressing into the knot. Lightning split the sky. The lights flickered once, twice, then went out. Darkness swallowed the room. Dante's breathing turned ragged. The pack link surged in the absence of control. Elara, he growled. I'm here. Another crash of thunder. She flinched. He felt it. Before he could think, he reached for her. She stumbled. He caught her. Their bodies collided in the dark. Her palm pressed against his chest. And then it happened. A deep, resonant vibration rolled through her throat. Not a gasp. Not a cry. A steady, continuous hum. It traveled into him like a living pulse. The pack link vanished. Complete silence. Dante went utterly still. The curse in his shoulder loosened. His wolf lay down inside him, calm for the first time in years. Elara, he whispered. She froze. The sound stopped abruptly. Silence shattered. The pack link roared back. She tore herself from his arms. No, she breathed. No, no, no. What was that? He demanded. Nothing. It wasn't nothing. She backed toward the door. Session's over. Elara. Don't. The lights flickered back on. Her face was pale, mortified. I need you to leave, she said. The most powerful alpha in the city stood there, stunned, while the only silence he'd ever known slipped away with her retreating footsteps. Dante found her in the small break room at the back of the clinic. The door was locked. He stood there for exactly 3 seconds before the pack link began clawing at his skull again. Elara, he said, voice low but controlled. Open the door. No. Her voice trembled. Not weak, frayed. He pressed his forehead briefly against the wood. The silence from earlier echoed in his memory like a lost paradise. Please. The word surprised them both. There was a pause. Then, you need to leave. I need that sound. Silence. The lock clicked. She opened the door halfway, keeping her body between him and the room. You can't talk about it like that, she said sharply. It's not a tool. Then what is it? Her jaw tightened. A defect. The word hit him harder than any curse. It didn't feel defective. She laughed once, hollow. You don't know what it cost me. He stepped closer, careful this time. Then tell me. Her eyes searched his face, as if weighing whether the alpha who terrified boardrooms could be trusted with something fragile. My former pack called it abnormal, she said quietly. Omegas aren't supposed to resonate like that. They said it was disruptive, embarrassing, dangerous. It silenced the pack link. Yes. Her eyes flickered. Exactly. Understanding dawned slowly. You threatened hierarchy, he said. She didn't answer. They exiled you. Her silence confirmed it. Rage rippled through him, dark and violent. They don't deserve. Stop. Her voice sharpened. You don't get to claim outrage on my behalf. His nostrils flared. She straightened her shoulders. You felt relief. That doesn't mean I exist to provide it. He swallowed. I'm not saying that. You said you need it. He dragged a hand down his face. I haven't had silence in years. That's not my responsibility. No, he agreed. It's not. The admission shifted something. I'll pay whatever you want, he said more evenly. 5,000 a week. 10. Upgrade your security. Replace the door. I don't care. I just need treatment. Her gaze narrowed. Professional boundaries. No possessive displays. No growling at clients. No control over my schedule. He hesitated. Where you walk, she finished. The pack link surged again, a punishing reminder. I agree. Her eyes searched his face for arrogance. She found none. We continue as doctor and patient, she said. For now. Her brow lifted. He corrected himself. Only that. She stepped aside. Tomorrow. Same time. He nodded and left before he could say something reckless. The next morning, Dante didn't just arrive early. He stayed. He worked on his tablet in the corner while Elara treated other patients. He didn't interfere. But when a tall wolf with too much confidence leaned too close to her and said, "You always take your alphas privately," something in Dante's chest snapped. The air shifted. The wolf glanced over and paled slightly. "Elara," Dante said evenly. "Your 10 o'clock is done." The wolf bristled. "You her assistant now?" Dante stood slowly. The room grew colder. "I don't repeat myself." The wolf swallowed and left. Elara turned toward Dante, eyes flashing. "You agreed to no dominance displays. He was crowding you. I can handle myself." "I know." His voice dropped. "I didn't like it. That hung between them." "You don't get territorial," she said carefully. His jaw clenched. "I don't." She stepped closer. "You're doing it again. I'm not claiming you. Your scent says otherwise." His wolf stirred. "Elara," he said quietly, "I haven't slept properly in 4 days. Everything in me is raw. That doesn't mean I think you're property." Her expression softened a fraction. "Good," she said. "Because if you did, this would end." He nodded once. That evening, as rain began to fall again, she treated him in near silence. He was calmer now, focused. "Why do storms bother you?" he asked suddenly. Her hands paused. "They don't." "They do." She resumed pressure on his shoulder. "It's irrelevant." "Not to me." She exhaled slowly. "Lightning hit the pack house the night I was cast out." His body went still. "I was told to leave before the damage was fixed," she continued. "Storms remind me of being alone." "Yes." Something dark coiled in his chest. "You're not alone now," he said quietly. Her hands stilled again. "That's dangerous thinking." "For who?" "For both of us." Before he could respond, the clinic door burst open. A heavy alpha scent flooded the room. Elara stiffened. Dante rose immediately. A tall man in a tailored coat stepped in, eyes cold and calculating. "Rourke Vale," Dante said flatly. "Crosswell." Rourke's gaze slid to Elara. "Still practicing, I see." "You're trespassing," she said evenly. Rourke smirked. "Heard rumors." The great Dante Crosswell reduced to holistic therapy. Dante's eyes darkened. "Careful." Rourke ignored him. "Does he know?" he asked Elara softly. "About your exile?" "Elara," Dante warned. "I told him," she replied, chin lifting. Rourke laughed. "And he still lets you touch him?" Dante stepped forward, dominance crackling in the air. "Leave," Elara said sharply. Rourke's gaze flicked between them. "You're playing a dangerous game, doctor." He reached out suddenly, fingers brushing her wrist. Dante moved. Too late. Elara grabbed a reflex hammer from the tray and struck Rourke's knee with brutal precision. He cursed and staggered back. "Out," she said coldly. Dante advanced one step. Rourke's lips curled. "This isn't over." He left. The door slammed. Silence filled the clinic. Dante turned to her. "He won't touch you again." "You can't promise that." "I can." She shook her head. "You think everything is a battlefield. Some things are. This is my clinic. It's a target now." The words settled heavy. "You should come to the tower," he said. "Until this cools down." "No. It's safer." "I won't hide." His jaw tightened. "Elara, I won't be controlled." "I'm not controlling you. You're trying to relocate me like an asset." That struck. He stepped back, forcing his temper down. "You're right," he said finally. "That's not what I want." "What do you want?" He hesitated. "I want you safe." The vulnerability in his tone stunned them both. Before she could respond, her phone rang. She answered. Her face drained of color. "What?" she whispered. Dante's body tensed. She hung up slowly. "What happened?" he demanded. "Fire," she breathed. "The back storage room. Someone reported smoke." They ran. Sirens wailed in the distance. Flames licked through the rear of Stillwater Restoration, devouring shelves, paper, wood. Miso screeched from inside. Elara surged forward. Dante caught her. No, my fox. He shifted partially, strength doubling, and burst through the smoke. Heat blistered his skin. He found the small, trembling body beneath a fallen cabinet. Got you, he muttered, shielding the fox against his chest. When he emerged, coughing, Elara grabbed Miso and clutched the animal to her chest. The fire crews worked fast, but half the clinic was already gone. Blackened beams, ruined equipment, ash drifting like dead snow. Elara stood frozen. This was my sanctuary, she whispered. Dante's gaze darkened to obsidian. Rourke, he said, you don't know that. He picked up something from the ground. A charred collar bell. His hands shook, not from weakness, but from fury. I'll end this, he said. Elara, he corrected himself. I promise. She looked at him, eyes shimmering with anger and grief. Don't become a monster for me, she said. His wolf rose inside him. Too late. Rain hammered the streets as Dante tracked the scent of Rourke Vale through the industrial docks. Each step was deliberate, measured, despite the searing ache in his shoulder. The cursed injury had returned, but weaker now, more pliable. Elara's work had softened it enough that he could shift without collapsing in pain. He emerged from the shadows, black fur slick with rain, eyes gleaming with predatory focus. Rourke and his enforcers didn't see him until it was too late. You found me, Rourke sneered. I've been expecting. The sentence died on his lips. Dante lunged, a perfect blur of obsidian muscle and fangs. The enforcers reacted too slowly. One went down with a roar, another with a swift bite and a snap of the neck. Rain hissed on contact with his fur and skin, steam rising. Rourke's eyes widened as he tried to back away. You'll regret this. Dante blocked the door to escape, claws digging into concrete. His shoulder flared, sharp but tolerable. He growled low, a sound that rolled over Rourke's senses like thunder. You shouldn't have touched her, Dante said, voice deep and lethal. Never. Rourke lunged. Dante sidestepped, twisted, and slammed him into a crate. Rain mixed with sweat streaked Dante's face. Rourke bit him, directly into the scarred shoulder. Dante's teeth gritted against the shock of pain. The world dimmed for a moment, shadowed by burning agony. Then he heard it, her sound, deep in his memory. The purr, low and resonant, calming him, giving him strength. Dante growled and shifted fully. He towered over Rourke, fur black as midnight, fangs glinting. The Alpha's power surged, controlled yet unstoppable. He pinned Rourke to the wall. Rainwater streamed down both of them, but Dante's eyes held fire. You will never touch her again, he said, voice a growl that seemed to shake the steel beams around them. Do you understand? Rourke gasped, swallowing hard. Why, yes. Dante released him, letting the smaller Alpha slide to the wet floor. He didn't move. His eyes never left Rourke's. Go, Dante said, and don't come back. Rourke scrambled to his feet and ran, the rain hiding his tears of fear. Dante exhaled, body heavy, shoulders screaming but contained. He shifted back to human form, drenched, soaked to the bone, heart hammering. Pain, relief, adrenaline, fury, they all twisted together. He staggered back to the street, leaning against a light post. Lightning split the sky above him. He closed his eyes and let himself breathe, finally. Then he felt it, the emptiness. Elara wasn't here. His relief was incomplete. He couldn't calm fully without her presence, without the sound that stilled his inner chaos. His phone buzzed. Read. Where are you? The beta's text read. Finding her. Dante typed back. Within an hour, he was at the roadside motel. She was there, curled up on a chair, Miso sleeping across her lap. Her face was drawn, grief-stricken, but alive. The fox stirred when he entered. Elara, he said softly. She looked up, startled. Dante. He held up his hands, unthreatening. I'm not here to control you. Not now. Not ever. Her gaze searched his, skepticism battling relief. You tracked me. Yes. Because you matter. Because I can't be whole without you. Her eyes shimmered, lips parted. The purr rose in her throat, quiet at first, then steady, resonant. Dante closed his eyes, letting it flow through him. The pack link, the cursed shoulder, The inner roar, it all quieted. He sank to the floor beside her, leaning against her chair. "You're rare," he murmured. "Not defective. I I didn't know how to use it," she admitted, voice trembling. "I was always afraid it would hurt someone. Or what?" he asked softly. "Or make me a target," she whispered. He pressed a hand to hers. "You were always the one who could heal me. Not the curse, not me. You." Tears glistened on her cheeks. Miso twitched his ears and nuzzled Dante's shoulder. He exhaled slowly, muscles relaxing. For the first time in years, he felt safe. Complete. "Do you want to stay?" he asked quietly. Her purse softened, intentional, deliberate. "Yes," she admitted. "Good," he said, a rare smile breaking his stormy expression. "Because I'm not letting you go again." The rain continued outside, drumming softly against the roof. Inside, warmth, safety, and trust filled the room. Dante leaned back, letting himself finally rest. Miso settled across his chest like a small, vigilant guardian. Elara's hand stayed in his, gentle and firm. "I'll build something new," he said after a long pause. "A clinic. For you. For us." She blinked. "You mean it?" "I mean it," he said, voice steady. "Safe, protected, ours." Weeks later, the Crosswell Wynn Wellness Center rose, a modern sanctuary blending warmth, light, and healing spaces. Dante lounged on a treatment table, finally at ease. His shoulder healed, scarred but strong. His mind quiet. His wolf settled into a calm, protective presence that no longer clawed at him constantly. Elara moved gracefully around him, checking instruments, arranging herbs, Miso trotting ahead to inspect everything. Their relationship had changed. Trust had replaced tension. Vulnerability had replaced walls. Power existed, but it no longer ruled them. He watched her from the table, chest rising and falling, the sound of her presence, the purr, low and comforting, echoing in his mind. He smiled faintly. "You're impossible," she said, without turning, arranging a vial of essential oils. "I know," he replied, eyes half-lidded. "But necessary." She glanced at him, a small smile tugging her lips. "Necessary and annoying." "I'll take it," he murmured. For the first time in years, he slept without fear. He woke to Miso on his chest, Elara at his side, and the quiet that had always eluded him finally embraced him fully. The past shadows remained, but here, in their sanctuary, healing had become home. Dante's hand brushed hers lightly. She responded with a squeeze, a small, grounding gesture that spoke volumes. No words were necessary. Outside, the city roared on, indifferent, dangerous, chaotic. Inside, a billionaire alpha, a resilient omega, and a tiny fox had carved a piece that neither curse nor rival could undo. Elara leaned back, watching him nap. "We did it," she whispered. Dante murmured in sleep, a faint smile touching his lips. Miso yawned. The storm had passed, and quiet ruled the room. If you love this story and want to see more magical romances with alphas, omegas, and unexpected healing, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss the next tale.